Hello, everyone. I welcome you to the third session of Expert Diaries. Expert Diaries is an initiative by the Future Marketers Association, which is the student association of the Department of Marketing Management, University of California. We bring you the best personalities in the country with the aim of providing you a chance to learn from their expertise. So, let me introduce you to our guest today. He's a US certified image consultant and a prominent figure in Sri Lankan fashion industry with over 3 decades of experience in men's fashion. He's a pioneer in initiating social activities and charities that uplift the society. He's also the founder of My Friend Charity Organization, which aims to help the underprivileged school children in Sri Lanka. And he's the face behind the face behind the four unique brands Envoy London, Le Bond, FH, and Signature. So by now you know who he is. Yes, he's the managing director of Envoy London and Amedia Group, Mr. Faisal Hamid. Mr. Hamid, good morning. Hope you're safe and sound.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. And Ibovan.
I, I'm not going to take much of your time, Mr. Hamid. I'll just go straight to the questions. So, my first question for you is how would you like to define yourself as a brand?
Yes, good question. Actually, I was not trying to make myself as a brand, but then when I became a designer at one stage, I want to promote my brand and in an ethical way. That is very important. In a in an ethical, in a nice way, and so automatically, without knowing that I have become a brand. I never want to be a brand because I want to respect the name Hamidia, which is my granduncle gave to my father, and I never wanted to be. But then, since I became without my knowledge, without any knowledge, I became a brand. That is what people say. But I yet feel sometimes when people talk about me and they take selfie, they talk various, they do research, but I feel sometimes so proud. The parents taught me because I couldn't study like you all. I'm more of a weak child in the class, but I learned something and I worked hard and I want to make the men look smart. That was my dream. So I was talking on behalf of the man, and even today morning I was telling the bride, I want the man to look much better, equal to the bride. So people trusted me what I'm talking, and then people made me a brand. I didn't have any intention, but later I want to start a brand on myself because one of the Sri Lanka's leading agency came and told me I was a bit shy to put my name. In a country like Sri Lanka, if I become brand, people just criticize and do things. But I waited for some time, and I felt I had done enough work to enter the country. I have done all the communities. I feel we have created jobs. We have dressed the Sri Lankan men, and especially men around the world when they come, we dress them, and then automatically, without knowing, unknowingly, I become a brand. So thank God, I'm happy for that.
And you have indeed made men look better, so much better. And
Yeah,
my second question is, Mr. Hamid, generally, when we hear the word fashion,
yeah.
most of the time it's women's fashion, right? But breaking this stereotype thinking, what made you to choose men's fashion as an emerging trend, especially in a country like Sri Lanka?
It's a good question. See, I was telling my CEO in the morning how I got involved. My father had a tailor store. It was a small store in Vallavata, tailoring and ready-made and gift items selling. So I tried to find jobs. I couldn't get jobs, and I went for 3 interviews and I couldn't find. But then we are six in a family, and the normally elder son get the business. That is normal culture because it's a small business. The six people cannot share a small business. So I came to help my brother while looking for a job, and helping my father at the same time by looking for a job. And then my brother, elder brother, was taking leadership. But then at home, we were taught how to share, how to care, how to live as a family, and how to share with each other in a small way. When you have a 1,000 rupees business, the entire 1,000 rupees not your profit, maybe 50 rupees that time was the profit. So with 50 rupees we survive. That was the so our parents have taught us to survive. And the so while going into that, I want to become a designer, and I want to become designer. And the I felt women are the best. They are the people who are dressing. So I got into women clothes, and I really did well. And then my mother said I'm loafing too much with women, and my father was doing more men. My mother always, when I come in the newspaper with girls, my mother always says that she misunderstood me. And it's a true story I'm telling you, a good case study. So just to please my mother, I gave up women's clothes, and by that time I found a girlfriend also. And my mother was upset, getting into the modeling, that culture was not suiting us. My present wife was involved in fashion, so it was a big story. So I had to give up women's clothes and get into my father's men's clothing. I think what mother did was right. I think women clothing is not easy, you know that. And my father built that the foundation in men's clothing as a tailor store. And for me, from there, it was easy for me to take it to the next level because I learned the basic. So I feel seen behind the men's, and always I'm telling the students. Even I told my son in the morning, he is studying in Canada. I said, you have a platform. He's a designer. You have a platform to take from me, but his mind is different. His things are more streetwear, casual wear. So now what I'm trying to say is, you do what you know rather than trying to do new things, because now if your parents, your uncle doing something and you can join them and learn is much better. Because today's generation, a lot of children think, the students think, when you come with university, the degree, they think they can do everything. The most important thing is the experience. Keep in mind, the experience can take you, I would say sky is the limit. So much, I'm telling you. For me, that is my, for us to open a store in London, it's franchise store. Somebody opening in Kensington High Street is regarded as a birthplace of Sri Lanka. It's one of the top places in London. We have a NMO London store in that street, because the product what he make, he knows these are not just cheap stuff. These are all top quality, world class product. So this is a journey which I created, and I gave up women clothes, and I want to just take the platform and move on and learn from, because as a kid I used to work with tailors, I used to cut fabric, I smell man fabric more than women fabric. But women clothing I would have made easy money. It was really good. But for me, end of the day, I want to do what I know. I want to be, in fact, many people told me when Odell Open, House of Fashion Open, in that era, in the late 80s, they said, oh, you are being the market. I said, I will never want to copy somebody. I want to do what I can. And it's not about how much money I made. And for me, the money I made, I should know. It's like if you are making a biryani, if you are making a good cake, that cake you should eat and should be healthy, right? You can't just do imitation cake and put artificial things and do things. So I want to do natural things, ethical things, a world class stuff for the world. That is my dream.
That is quite a story, Samid. Okay, so my third question is, how
Yeah.
is wearing fashion different today than from when you started out?
Yeah, good question. When I started, I never saw it was controlled by peta merchants. And thanks to my parents, my mother taught me I had to do business. I cannot do unethical. I had to do business in right way. That's why we say halal in our language. I can't lie. I can't do fake. I can't do anything wrong. I can't, like I said, I can't even do imitation. So I felt that time nothing in the market. I had to buy from third parties. Their qualities are not good. But when I now see when you buy from third party, right? Example now, if you cook at home, you will cook the best, right? You will put best. If you're
Yeah.
trying to do 1,000 packs, if you're selling 1,000 people, they will ask for various things, price, then quality come down. So I started hunting for new things. I started hunting. Then I realized in the market what we are getting, like iPhone 2, like Nokia, old model. Now the generation, you all see internet, you have social media, you on a fingertip you can check. During our time, TV just came, no only reading newspaper, no internet, and a lot of people bring outdated stuff. Even now, I'm telling you, if you take clothes, right now, how many of you can define uh, top luxury quality, premium quality, or good quality, average quality, or below average quality? How do you define? There are 5, 6 category. You can't, right? But when you buy a car, you can. When you mobile phone, you can. But clothing, you cannot. Very difficult unless you have a lot of knowledge. So, to be honest, so I started looking for international brand. I learned from those brands. I started traveling around the world, especially Milan, Paris, London, USA. I went around various part of world. Japan, especially, they are the best for me. So my turning point was Japan. I learned the quality from Japanese people, honesty from Japanese people. They when they sell, they are always honest. They don't lie. They give you iPhone 11 mean 11. If you go to China, they will you show like a Chinese iPhone 11, but it will be iPhone 7. I mean, not everybody in China, some, right? So I mean, for me, uh, making a brand that time was most difficult thing. My God, everything hands on, lot of red tape, lot of corruption. We went through various problems. So we didn't know about the government rules and labor rules and tax rules. We made brand and we got taxed by the government heavily. And when others selling fake, I was selling brand. So, but because I made brand, I got taxed. People who sold fake, they never got caught. So I was so sad, about 30 years ago, 25 years ago, when I was taxed. That time even I didn't have money to pay back. I was so honest. They calculated all my machines and they put it for 5 years a tax. And I was thinking I went to build brands. At that time I was probably only brand in the market, and all others sell fake, and I get punished. So, but then those are good lesson I learned. I always see the government policies. Even now, it's not great for local brands and to go international, and that's a different story. So, making a brand, my dear students, it's not easy. People might think uh, getting a printed label, putting it. You should know the know-how, especially students. I come across a lot of students from various universities. They are all thinking the degree, yes, I have, I can do everything. So if you want to become anything, you have to work in a place properly for at least 5 years, learn the foundation, come to know. I come across thousands of students. They come, they want to do the PhD again when they are young, yes, while studying, but ultimate goal is you should know your journey. You should be expert in something. Yeah, okay. If you are a financial controller, if you are a engineer, that's different. If you want to be a marketer, if you want to be electronic, you have to know about electronic. If you want to be in computer, you should know every piece of computer. Now, I am in clothing, in men's. I know each and every detail, but I'm yet learning. That's the reason we open a store in London. Somebody opening for us in London is not a joke. He pays the rent, he runs, and I'm franchising. So our own brand, this brand NY London, which we created 20 years ago. In 20 years ago, I want to go to London. And when I made NY London, people laughed at me. I said, no, I didn't put made in England. I said NY London. This is I'm looking for European brand because Sri Lankan will not understand what I'm talking. So I made this brand and registered in England. I got Tony Gregg 20 years ago as my model. I became a designer in England. I got the British High Commissioners, European High Commissioners to work with me. So I was more. So then I started flying and meeting people, and I showed, and they came down. They saw the brand, and they said, "Wow!" So that's why I made brand. So it's not. I became a designer and made even design school. I'd have gone about 5 classes. I went to school in Thailand, paid money, and because I know the know-how from the class, I dropped out. But you all don't drop out, right? I dropped out because the market was demand of products, and I didn't have patience to be in the class. But I learned the basic because for me, I had no patience to those days, no computer. You had to draw. I didn't have patience to sit and draw. Even in school, I can't write. I'm a visual man. So each one of you all must understand what your strength is. Now I'm good in visual. Okay, I picture you. I can tell you who you are, and I can tell various things. So each one is good in certain things. You are not good in everything. To become everything good, it takes 20 years, right? Example, for your professor to become XY, he didn't become professor just in by joining the Calvin University, right? Or Dr. Mendes didn't become a doctor just overnight, right? So all had to go through this, right? There's a journey for this. So brand was fantastic. If you're going to make brands, if you're going to build brands, work and learn the brand. I know a lot of people, they come and do presentation, they do, those are good. But I see 90% of them are struggling now. I see many of them are struggling, and they are in a very bad situation. Market is bad, including we are also not doing well. I mean, now time like this, if you can survive, then you can move on anytime. My business started during the war time, during the bomb time. Every other day there was a bomb blast, and we opened stores. We expanded during the war time because when the competitors were sleeping, they were sleeping, they were scared, and we moved on. Because I can remember whenever in the road bomb blast goes on, my wife called and asked, "Where are you?" So we should thank God we escaped, right? So I mean, I didn't take advantage of the situation, but I felt a time like this, guys, don't relax. Don't do too many projects. Yes, while doing project, try to do hands-on. Right? Go and feel it, and work under a good boss, even in construction field, any field. Right? I know my nephew. He got a degree and he wants to become a big contractor. And I know suppliers are cheating him. Every time suppliers cheat him, right? Because he knows a little bit of BQ, what do you call BOQ, and he knows a little bit of the quantity survey, a few things. He thinks he had done the everything. I mean, it can't be like a good gem merchant. It takes time, right? A good chef has started from as a junior, assistant cook, senior cook. It become like that. So in your journey, there are no shortcut, right? I think a lot of students, they come to me, they interview me, and when I see them after 5 years, 10 years, they are like struggling, right? So the important is, okay, whatever you get, be happy. I know you need money, but learn your job is more important than your money, because money you can make once you learn your job. Yes, next.
Yes. Okay, the fourth question is, according to you, how can an individual's outfit reflect his personality to give the best impression at first glance?
Of course, right? That is what matters. It's not your degree at the first glance they are going to see. It's your first impression. I see many university students. They think they are the degree is there. That is the biggest advantage. Of course, that is one of the advantage. But your first impression, I see 90% universities, 90%. keep in mind, I had told Dr. Mendes, 90% of them, they need assistance. I'll worship you. That is my biggest message I can give you. These students, because they come from a different background, most of them are not going to Trinity or St. Thomas's. I mean, just saying, right? I mean, I also came from village, right? I also came from village, and so we came and we went through this problem. They pushed us in the corner. They said, "I'm Bode fellow. I'm from Game fellow." We speak broken English one time. So we all go through this. But for anything, there is a way to move on. I can remember my sister said can't go to school because she could speak English. But today, everybody speak English. So most importantly, learn your English, right? Because a lot of people they dress well, their first impression is out. Dress well, කඩ නැහැ. කඩ කතා කරනකොට කරලා මොන හරි කියනවා. So for me, can you see who is a gentleman?
Yes.
This is my room. I train people on first impression, body language, power dressing, different type of clothes, etiquette. We teach various things, right? So everybody, it can be man, women. You must be a gentleman, correct? Right? A woman has to be a real woman, right? Right? Today in the country, can you find gentlemen? How many we can?
Very few.
We go to parliament, you will see how many of them we have. One example, right? There are few, but there is a but. There is a question, right? If not, the country would have been somewhere. We are nowhere, right? So first impression counts. There is no second chance. There is no second impression. It can be your love marriage. It can be your proposal. It can be your business. It can be your life-changing decision, right? So it's okay if you go bold. Don't wear wig. Don't die. Be a natural man. Correct. You prefer a natural man,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
You look for a natural man. You got it? Got what I said?
Yeah, like a genuine, original man.
Not a fake man, right?
Yeah.
So I don't like people are faking, imitating, බොරුවට අර fake දාගෙන මේක
Yeah.
original කියනවා මේ ළඟදී I met a guy. My God, he's driving a Jaguar. And in fact, he introed me. Very good story. But he's wearing fake watch and he's telling he's so and so doing fake imitation watch. Why don't you buy? Oh my God. I said, these are short term, long term. Tell him this business, give up. Good margin. He said, there's a warranty. And I said, my God, I buy, rather I buy what I can. It was Jaguar. He says he has all the Rolex, all the brands he has, right? And he introduced me to that guy. I said, no, very sorry, son. I will not wear a fake. I will wear what I can wear. I don't want to just show. Then when I came out, he came out with me to my car, and I saw a nice vehicle pass in front of his office. I asked, what is this? He said, it's mine. I like, but then I don't talk anything bad about anybody. It was so expensive, but then it's a different story. So don't try to show off and live this country. A lot of people want to show off. When today with Corona, what can you do? Because a curse for everybody, right? It's a punishment given. Think that, right? People might have their everything. So my mother says, have plenty and roast pan, pol sambal. We were brought up like that. I'd have had 7 days pol sambal and tirihodi and roast bread my school days. But my children now 7 days, 7 type of breakfast they want. Natural, right? I mean, okay, that time we didn't have money, but I'm just sharing my experience in life. I can yet sleep in the floor. My mother sleep on the floor. I mean, we saw their natural life. Live a natural life, genuine life. Don't try to, okay, dress nicely, Girls must look beautiful. Correct. Men must look natural. Some people wear a t-shirt up to here, six pack, put the six pack and show. I don't think you will do that. These guys will not do. But I see many men are doing that. I feel so sad.
How do you see your company 5 years down the line? Like, what sort of new trends are yet to be introduced to the industry from your side?
You see, in 5 years' time,
Mhm.
I'm really dreaming to be overseas and to
Mhm.
be online
Mhm.
and take Envoy London to the world
Mhm.
and the and to upgrade whatever I do. Upgrade whatever I do. It can be anything like your mobile phone. If you don't upgrade our technology, our product, our production, the fashion, the style, whatever, there is no way of even COVID time. We were doing various things, thanks to Zoom, and we got into activities. We were sharing, and we didn't have much money, but then with everything we want to survive. So I would say, first and foremost, I want to make 2021 a year where which we like 2019 and 20 we went through a major crisis, and these are lessons we learned, and I want to launch something new for the man. I want to create more gentlemen. I want to coach men, and I want to also help underprivileged students to go to school. Especially, I am saying go to school. Going to university is second thing. Every child should go to school. I also appeal to the your unit. I told Dr. Mendes also, where you all must do a project as CSR, motivating children to go to school. In Colombo, there are thousands of children are dropping out of school. You can even do the Kalani area. That should be your CSR, where you all we will support. I will get the cricketers. I can get celebrities for you all to come work with them. Oh, you are celebrities. You all are celebrities. You all must make yourself brand. Okay, Kalani marketing unit is Kalani University marketing unit is doing something. You all must make that unit a famous unit, and you all must market yourself as students who did something back. So next 5 years, upgrade, cut down the unwanted areas, cut down the unwanted expenses, focus on the core strength, and build a product which anybody can be. It can be a shirt for 1,000 rupees, it can be shirt for 25,000 rupees. I will give everything what is good. Whatever I sell, I give guarantee. Who will do that? Whatever I sell at Hamidias, I give guarantee. And ethical, we pay taxes, we do everything. My factory staff are having buffet lunch, buffet breakfast. With all those, our price is very reasonable. So very important, students, whenever I do anything, all look for ethical companies. People who are ethically doing things. You must help them. People only they do various things, put a nice label, nice tag. That is the biggest criteria. Even you go and buy a nice biryani pack, the box is still 40 rupees. But chicken is just like 50 ounce. Very small. That they can reduce the packaging and increase the piece of chicken. I'm just saying. They can make the food nicer rather than making the box nicer. One simple example. So similarly, next 5 years, what I learned last 2 years, I put into experience, and we will we will cut down all the bad negative areas and look at the areas which we are good at and move on. And it's not about how much money I make, but if I can make a little money in a nice way, cover my overheads. Last 2 3 years, we are not making money. We are breaking, not even breaking even. We are losing a bit. So what we had, all put it back, moving on, and we have to pay back. And it's another story. Thank you. Yes.
Yes. So the next question: for the last 10 years, Signature
Yeah.
Brand was the main sponsor for Stylish Marketer, organized by the Future Marketers Association of
Yeah.
University of Kalani.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to collaborate with us, the State University undergraduates?
Yes, again, I must thank Dr. Mendes and your entire team, your professors, everyone for giving us that opportunity. And see, we always we see our parents, my father especially, they from small day I see any they sponsor children from underprivileged families. So we have been doing this, helping a lot of students. So when this happened, when you all approached me, I feel this is one of the best thing any corporate can do, because the university student, when they come out, right, they have to be like a brand, they have to look nice, they have to market themselves. So, and Signature brand is a mass market brand. So we felt the brand had been the official clothing for the World Cup, for the cricketers, all these. So we felt associating with your university like Callan University is fantastic. You know, it's a really a good journey for us, and we are very happy, and we will be with you all, and we want to see uh, students who come out from there, and that was my dream. Like I always want to mentor them, guide them, whatever I am good at. But I mean, I know sometimes there are better mentors, but in my area, that first impression, body language, you know, that cut and polish, you know, the what I'm saying, you know, the people say, I say my banner, what I'm talking about, live a simple life, you know, don't try to copy, don't imitate these values. We have to give them, you know, we have to give them, you know, because I see when I come to Cal University, I've been coming over nearly 15 years. I mean, before that, I used to come and do various lectures with various people. Yeah, right. So when I come, I see there are a lot of negative things happening. So we have to make the university look positive. You know, there are a lot of work you all can do. You all can create as a marketer. You all can set example to other students. You all can be a role model. Your unit has a role model. Your unit can do a lot of seminars for other children, other students. For me, that because I see there are a lot of students without clothes, right? I can give clothes. Any student you are having without clothes, I can give clothes. You don't have to say we. Okay, you all can have a secret thing and give it. So I see them, their frustration. They're like they come to class without washing the face, without brushing. They're crumpled because I think something wrong. You know, they are not rich. They have short. I have spoken to a couple of universities from various universities. They tell their stories. They have no money even to travel. They stay in hostel. What they have, they eat or friends buy. So they starve and study. So I know it's a tough thing, right? Very easy to speak, but when you go to see, so I see it's a very good journey for us, and I feel we have to do it much better, and it has helped us. And I also hope we all have got some advantage by working with us. So it's a it's a win-win.
Okay, moving on to the seventh question. Hamidia is one of the leading
Yeah,
organizations in the country and has been operating for
yeah,
almost a century. So,
yeah.
what is the secret behind your success to retain and sustain in the industry, being a local organization, introducing iconic brands, and while competing well in a global context as well?
Yeah, but again, I must thank my parents who taught us good values. And I think secret behind is the values. Keep in mind, because as I told you, my mother had told me I can't lie. I cannot be. So that lie also became to make brand, because I used to buy from third party and sell various imitation fake. So after I found these are not original, I stopped. I stopped. 20 odd years ago, I stopped. I didn't know. Then I was basically cheated by suppliers. You know, you all get cheated. Somebody can say it's made in Italy, can be made in India or Pakistan, anybody. So I stopped. So I thought I will sell the brand. I'm responsible. I must sell which I am responsible, because third parties I'm buying, they are making all fake label, horror label, we call it, somebody's label. So I don't want to be part of that. So so credit goes to the parents, and those values they taught us, and the and the the guidance they gave us, right? So secret behind is, I think what I learned from my father, the ingredient, how to make a nice product, that is the secret behind. So that was a game. So for that, I think even you all as a student, you will have to uh, learn those things. Those things won't just come, right? I mean, people they think, yeah, I can make notes. No, it's like Murali bowling the offspring. They keep on bowling, right? Then you get the turn and the dusra comes. You watch cricket.
I used to the result.
You have no time, right? So similarly, you have to, whatever you do, you have to go on pitching. Go on pitching. When you pitch, the matadano, samar market is a local talk, no, boru talk. After 6 months, that fella going to and working somewhere else with another competitor, different brand. And we bought from him, product is fake. He says, mata danne boss, mama da bada koranne metana, ayo boss. So we don't do that. It can be signature, it can be Lebon, it can be Envoy, it can be FH, anything. It had be original, it had be perfect, it had be something authentic, something ethical, and all has to be like perfect. So that is the secret, and that is what I learned, and that is what the Ham Media is today. If not, we will never survive. And I'm surviving for 72 years now, and opening a store in London under Envoy. These are, I think in Sri Lanka nobody did that. We were the first people to open a clothing brand in London, and to open in the Central High Street, and they and it's a miracle, I would call it, because as I said, for me it's not money, how much money, it's a product. You understood? So I always want to be with, I yet on the field, on the move. I every day I try to attend a customer. Will you believe? Every day, if somebody call, I go and attend. That experience is the biggest experience. A lot of university boys, they work 9 to 5. They are like, after that they say no. If you want to be marketing, time is a big question. Oh, you got to go and work in the government department. Then fantastic. Go and work in a government. You can nicely sleep and come. You can have a couple of tea. Go home 3 o'clock. Come to work 10 o'clock. Somebody can punch your card. So I don't think you must do that. You guys are talented to become good leaders in the society, in the market, and you must keep that going. Okay.
Yes, I mean, okay. So the eighth question is: most of the employees say that their biggest asset in the company's employees.
Yeah.
Employers say that employees are the biggest asset. So, what sort of techniques have you taken to nurture and retain the best talent within your company?
Yes. I mean, naturally, that is a very basic common thing. I mean, every company employs other. Now, when I started, it was a family business. My brother was there. My cousins were there. Then now nearly 1,000 people works, and it's a team which runs the business. So for me, no, we train people. I don't say no, but I always look for people with good thinking and honesty. For me, honesty is number one. Keep in mind. Now, if you want to be in marketing, if you want to work in government sector, they're different. You have to be honest to your boss. You have to be honest to your company. This is very key important thing. Yes, when somebody give gift, it's different, because I know certain people how they run the company. It's a short term. You'll get caught one day, and that will be a very big question mark on your life. So in my life, I did a lot of mistakes. As I'm sharing with you. Then thanks to my mother, I learned the right thing. My mother used to preach me like this every day. Even today morning, I got a call. She tells all negative, positive things in business. So that gives me to share with other people too. So I would say, for me, right, Employer is very important, right? And employees must understand that the bosses are not fools, and bosses, some bosses are naturally, they want everything, but it's tough sometimes, I mean, I know sometimes we are entrepreneurs, we think different to some of the people who come from the with all the qualification. We are entrepreneurs always, like, you come on the road, you see a taxi, put your hand, I'm just saying, or something like that. Now you book your taxi to the phone. But entrepreneurs are like, they will won't take 360 days, 360 degree mindset. Then you have to be ready. You have to be with that. Or you have to go to the big company and work in a company which is run by multinational, and it will be easy for you, right? So what I say is, I like workers who are humble, who are genuine, and who are giving productivity. And I mean, a lot of people, those are the people ultimately all bosses look for, who can score, who can bring good results, who can be give good productivity, right? Who can stand for the company, who will always look for the company before himself, right? Today, a lot of people put their self forward and then look for the company. They, now example, when somebody come to buy a suit at at 7:55, 8 o'clock shop close. Sometimes they say, sir, sorry, sir, but tomorrow morning that guy is our cousin is getting married. Morning, he had to be at 9 o'clock in a hotel. We open 10 o'clock. So there are people, but then the customers must think this poor guy has to go by bus to Kelania or to Moratuwa. Customer come in a car and he complained. So we have crazy people, right? So I see it uh, as a managing director. I want to be fair, and I always look for genuine workers who are focused on their work. And be careful your mobile phone. A lot of you people go to work with two phones. Never carry one phone. And during office time, avoid your personal things. This is my humble request. If you are a person of that caliber, your life is success. Don't rob the office time. A lot of people rob office time. That is illegal, and also it unethical. There is no blessing. Office time you must keep for office, or you must tell your boss, I have a problem. I had to my children in hospital, or my wife is sick. I have a problem, personal problem. Tell your boss, and then he will understand. Without telling your boss, you do this morning play, it's bad. Then boss knows this guy is genuine. Some lot of people keep the phone in the lap on their lap, and they work like this. On the, it's bad. Okay, so I would always be with the employee, because I feel they are your asset, and I feel we should train them, motivate them, guide them, and we should, then only that will be the best way to move on.
So,
Next.
okay. What made you to perceive a different field which is related to food industry, Bagatale, even though your roots are within the fashion industry?
Yeah, the good question. See, I have done thousands of weddings. My God, I hate men with big frame, big stomach. Will you like? You don't like, right? All women want smart guy. All men want smart girl, right? So I see a lot of men after they get married, they are like pregnant. Stomach is big, they are like, so I have seen after 2 years they say, I machan, I went to bypass. How old are you? Some are like half my age. So I analyzed this and found the most worst thing was food, right? They were not practicing eating the right thing. So I felt I'll start this grooming school, how to be gentleman, and teach them all values. So I found the food was the basic thing, and then since I teach etiquettes in my class, so I want to have a small cafe with a healthy food, healthy, tasty food. So I started that. So I did it as a hobby for me, and I also want to be in the show give a message to the everyone, practice healthy lifestyle. So with that, I do various things. So for me, every day is my fitness day. Every day is my healthy day, healthy food day. But I eat once in a way biryani, but then I work out. I burn out, but I don't want to have six pack. If I want, I can make six pack, but then now no need, right? So I have a fairly decent body. So for that you have to maintain, you have to work out. But I eat good food, but I'm not saying I eat even oily food, but not every day, right? But I try and practice healthy food. So I want to promote because I saw a lot of people are getting sick, right? Only ways you all must get into healthy lifestyle. That is my biggest gift advice I can give you. Then you will can wear nice clothes. You will be healthy. There nobody can say this guy getting sick every day. In certain offices, some guys are sick every time they get sick because they eat, they drink all rubbish. Then they come to work, they can't raise their head. Then they complain headache. Then ultimately they'll be always junior executive.
Okay.
So I want to help. I want to give a message as a healthy lifestyle. That's the reason I started my cafe. And it's not about making money. I'm not making money there, but I'm enjoying the food, and so it's good.
Next question is, a person must have a combination of essential qualities to be successful. How do you feel about this?
Of course, a person should have essential quality to be successful naturally. See, I see this is the biggest problem we are facing in the country. Successful people, they don't have good qualities. Very few people, if we all successful people can think of underprivileged child or underprivileged student or underprivileged any poor families. This country, we are not India, we are not Pakistan, we are not Bangladesh. We are country with 20 million people. We are thousands of good companies, good entrepreneurs, successful people. All can help 100 every month. We all take 100. That is what marketers must do. Calvin University must promote and make awareness. If the country wants to be successful, we have to create good school, good children, like Singapore. Singapore, a taxi man is getting the discipline. Even Malaysia, even Japan, the value they keep as a they are like role model for the country. I travel a lot. All these countries I learned taught me good lesson as you get in taxi, how they promote their country. In our country now because of Uber and things, pick me, these things we are safe. Those days the taxi man take you around the somewhere they make different bill, but now it's different. Thank God. So it's a good question. Uh, a person must be a gentleman, what I say here, and it's very easy for me to say that word, but then we have to practice that. We all can put nice messages, nice posts, we can do nice videos, but our conscious, our heart and our mind must say what we are doing is right. And never fake, never imitate, never lie, never show off, never try to tell people that people a lot of egos. From today, if anybody have, take it out. From 2021, have a change in life. Write down in your wall at home, in your toilet, what are the things you want to achieve in life, and keep hitting. Keep hitting that. Get yourself first impression. Get that. Everyone need that. Don't worry, right? Everyone need that. You have to go for various things. Bit of nice haircut. You can get a like on the next 2021. I want you to look little better. Can right? Correct. You have to upgrade your what's the mobile phone you using? Nokia, Samsung,
Samsung.
Samsung, right?
Yeah,
Your phone,
yeah, it's
Samsung
Samsung.
11, 9.
No, it's not that expensive.
Huh?
It's not that expensive. It's just an average.
I know. Okay, okay, not expensive, right? Good. So now, but you have to show your expensive. You have to project yourself that you are like not to show off,
Yeah.
but I can give you some signals. Okay, there are role models you have to follow, right? Correct. But with all disciplines must come the frame, and you have to now today a lot of university children students I have seen they are not following those ethics, those values. They say මට ඩිග්‍රී තියෙනවා ඔක්කොම තියෙනවා මට හොඳ රස්සාවක් ඕනේ. රස්සාව දෙන්න they are not fit. So that's a long story. But in life we have learned ourselves. Correct? Okay, next.
Obstacles are inevitable in life, right? So, what are the obstacles that you have faced during this COVID-19 outbreak, and what are the solutions you have given to tackle them?
My God, we went through a lot, right? If I write down, I can say hundreds of obstacles. Number one was life and death. We didn't know what this that first wave came. We don't know what's going to happen. We were whether we are going to starve, is there any food, we can't go out, kilometers queue, and people living in the Colombo city, they are the biggest victim. So I felt it's a signal for us to think back the olden era. So I calculated myself we have to. So I realized that it's time for us to reanalyze ourselves and audit ourselves, write down the area. So I had a lot of time to audit myself and audit my company, the staff, various people. And so what we did was first was try to cut down our overheads, bosses overheads, our overheads, and our balance money we try to give to others. I mean that's what we do, right? When others are suffering, I mean we have a lot of money. We say we have to give portion to neighbors and staff and things. And we were losing business. There's no money. There are no customer. Staff are not coming. People are scared. They are not traveling. Some people taking advantage. They felt this is the best time to go and sleep at home nicely. And they have money. Some people they are not depending on work money. The people took advantage. And so what I what I felt is the solution is to face it without getting behind. So in fact, I bought thousands of kilos of food item and I started distributing. I saw hundreds of beggars on the street and I started serving them food whenever I can. And I saw genuine beggars during the COVID time. We have almost 70% who are begging. They are not genuine beggars. They are like fake beggars. They're fake. They come like beggars. About 30% are the genuinely. I enjoyed most of them. I done a video of them. Some are from very good families chastened by the children. Unbelievable stories. Doctors' children, English speaking parents on the street, and some are mentally down. People have dumped them. They are thrown out of the house. There are rich parents on the street, rich children on the street. People are going to the best schools on the street. So I felt that whatever we can, we have to do for them, but it's not easy. So I started a food bank. I started cooking food and distributing, and also started selling good food at an affordable price because I found a lot of people are at home. The old age they can't even approach. So we started delivering through the like Uber. We created a team and we sent house to house and we sold at a very nominal. That the profit I made, I gave it back to the community again. So the solution is to now cut down your overheads, focus on your area. We closed down almost 3 stores, but uh, we didn't stop any workers from the working. I mean, a lot of people fired the staff. They sent them home. We didn't send anybody home. And anybody, someone wants to leave, they can leave. But we feel some are with that money they are living, they are surviving, they need money, so we kept them. And that was the biggest thing we did. That's again to my mother, who always says, the poor people, we can't send them home. There are rich guys who can, they can be at home, their parents are rich. So solution is to fight back, take the good things and practice, write down the strength, what you are good at, write down the weaknesses you are having, and write down the areas which you cannot do. Now, a lot of people think I can do. Even I have that problem. We think we can do, but everything is not possible, right? So, write, each one can write down on this. So, number one, in time like this, you have to save money. If you get 20,000 rupees, try to even keep 2,000 rupees saved. Cut down your unwanted expenses, especially eating fancy artificial things. Buy clothes which is minimal look. You know, don't buy fancy clothes so that you can cut down. Don't buy fancy things, right? Save your money. Don't try to take big loans and fall in trouble, because we don't know next 2 years what is going to happen. Plan your future well. Future going to be very tough, going to be hard. You cannot expect government to do everything. We must give back something to the government. Government has given us a lot of things, but future, I see it's a big question. If you are going to just take it easy, China has already come, capped, they're taken some part, India will come, America will say, give us something, and we will not get good jobs, we will get average jobs. You have to start innovating something, create something. As a Kerala University marketing unit, come up with some model, some innovation, get around, do a brainstorming, and while doing that, try and survive. Do part-time jobs, can do security job. I mean, it's okay. Can do Uber if you want to. My son works in a hotel, in a restaurant, 20 years. He never told me, right? It's pocket money. Not here in Canada. So it's okay. I know certain students are working here. They are working at KFC, McDonald's. Don't be shy. You can work as a, you get 10,000 rupees for you, right? Don't trouble your parents, because how much sometimes they mortgage their jewelry house and send you here, and you all don't look them back. Most importantly, your parents' blessing is very important. Without their blessing, your success will be big question. Practice your religion, whatever religion you are. Number one, as I told you, that Pansil Paha, I came and told you some time back. Your religion, number one. Practice the right thing, that right thing. Third, your career, your education. Fourth, give back to the community, right? And the fifth is look after yourself and become successful the way you want. So when you are successful, you have to give back to, like I am giving back. I spent time 1 hour to talk to you all. I hope you all learn something from here, take something. Because in my life, I don't have degree. I went for a seminar, and I paid 150 rupees in the late mid 80s. They taught me demand, supply, marketing, packaging, these things. I think Dr. Mendes knows, by the JCs of Sri Lanka JCs. I think he would have been that time also. And that gave me that message done by Mr. Godwin Pereira, he yet living. He told that message, that is only started my head. And my father had a tailoring shop. I had tailors. I got the tailors to make shirt. I put the label. I did a packaging, and I made a brand. That's a simple thing.
Hamid, we do have one more question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the last question is, how do you see the journey from the beginning till now, the present, and what advice would you like to share with our undergraduates from your experience?
Okay, my journey, I am hungry. My journey will never end till I die.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm very passionate about what I do. I will never retire. I won't be healthy, but I will pass my work to others,
Mhm.
and I will spend time on helping other underprivileged. So my journey and dream just finishing with my London store. I had a dream to be island wide. Now signature is going island wide, and I had a dream making man to look most powerful. I want to make the men, because when every marriage I see bride is upper and the groom is down. I want to bring the groom here. I want to upgrade him by certain lifts. So all these are working for me. I want to start my grooming school. So all my dreams are successful. But
Mhm.
now I want to take the Envoy London around the world. And the last question, advice to the students, honesty is number one. බොරු කියන්න වැඩක් නැහැ. මමත් කියනවා ජෝක් එකට. but බොරු කියලා අපි සල්ලි හම්බ කරනවා. බොරු කියලා ඌව පටනවා මෙයා පටලා right don't. And if you want to be successful, practice your religion and be fear of what you do. That will make you a complete man, complete human, you know. So once you do that part, your work will come straight, you know, and always do the right thing, and never, there's no shortcut in, I don't think, unless you are a minister's son or some millionaire's son. Uh, so I see it, while studying, work hard and be genuine to yourself. And as Sri Lankan, you all has to be a role model for me. You all are the best out of the lot. You come with all the qualification with over 350,000, right? Students A level qualified
Yeah.
seat,
Hello.
right? How
Mhm.
many seat for the A level?
Yeah, I think around 300,000. I have.
And on that, you all have been picked over
Mhm.
100,000 plus,
Yes.
something like that. So you are the luckiest people. Go to university. You have to keep that flag. Government has given all a lot of things, and you have to give back to everybody and never give up. You know, and write down from 2021 what you want to do, and keep on going with that. If you want to become whatever you want to do, you can't do overnight. First 3 to 5 years, you have to learn. You know, you want to become engineer, you want to become a marketing manager, or you want to become an entrepreneur, you want to become whatever. First 3 to 5 years, you have to settle down, you have to learn, you have to upgrade yourself, your IT skill, your English skill, your communication skill, your discipline, work discipline, all have to fall in line. And that's how your life is. So all the best to you all.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Hamid. And Mr. Hamid, okay, so we have come to the concluding part of our interview. Mr. Hamid has been with us, Hamidia has been with us for so many years. We are honored to say that Mr. Hamid, Prince Faisal Hamid, is working with the Department of Marketing Management. We are honored to say that. We are privileged to say that. And we hope that you will continue to work with us for so many years. We really look forward to it. So we know people like you, time is of the essence, and still you allocated your time for us to share valuable insights. And I'm sure our audience will find this session very inspiring and extremely insightful. So, Mr. Hamid, on behalf of the Department of Marketing Management and everyone else, thank you from the bottom of my heart for your time. And we wish you nothing but safety, happiness, and further success. Yeah, so stay tuned with us. So, because we have so many more of the insightful sessions to share with you all. Thank you so much and have a great day. Stay safe.
Thank you, everyone. All the best. Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.